WBUR podcast, Boston.
This is 90.9 WBUR. I'm Sharon Brody. FIFA Men's World Cup action starts today in Massachusetts. Scotland takes on Haiti tonight in Foxborough. It's the first of 7 matches being held in what is referred to as Boston Stadium. The BBC Scotland's Amy Irons and Stephen Mill join me in the studio this morning. Welcome to actual Boston.
Yes.
Yes, hello, Sharon.
We know that Foxborough's a little bit further south of Boston. I've been lucky enough I've been to Boston a couple of times before. I know it's an amazing city, and I know that the Scots that are already here are very much enjoying the hospitality that Boston brings.
It's my first visit to Boston, and so far, even though I've spent the last few days working, Sharon, the little bits of sightseeing that I've been able to do, Boston Common, City Hall, Fennel Hall, these places, it's not disappointed at all. And the Tartan Army being here is adding to the party atmosphere.
Well, about that Tartan Army, downtown has been kind of, what you might call, invaded by the Tartan Army of soccer fans who travel to support the team. Who are these foot soldiers?
So these are the people who follow the Scotland national team home and away. So these are the guys and girls who basically dedicate their life to following Scotland. Like there's some guys and girls who have been going to watch Scotland since the 1960s, the 1970s. There's people who haven't missed a match for decades, and Scotland haven't qualified for a World Cup since 1998, for 28 years. So that's why you'll probably see up to 30,000 Scottish fans.
The main thing I would say about the Tartan Army and anybody in Boston who's witnessing this influx of Scotland fans is they're a very happy, joyous bunch.
Do you think that Boston has the vibe of a World Cup host?
You know, it's interesting because I was out for a few drinks the other night, and we bumped into some guys who were watching the Stanley Cup, because that was obviously the big thing that was on TV, and we had to ask the bar to put on the World Cup match. And when I said, can you put the World Cup on? And they were like, what channel's it on, who's playing? And I was like, and listen, that's fine, because obviously we know that American sports are obviously number one here, and we know it's the NBA finals at the moment as well, but we have bumped into a couple of people who didn't even realise the World Cup was on. For the rest of the world, it's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think that's been probably eye-opening for us coming here, because despite the fact that Scotland haven't been at a World Cup in, since 1998, so many years, we still have this obsession when it comes to these major tournaments. And I think that's what's interesting, is when you arrive in Boston, as Stephen says, you've got American football, baseball, basketball all coming ahead of soccer. So it's probably quite understandable that you've got many people in a big city that don't realise it's happening. But I think certainly the arrival of Scotland fans has probably woken up a few people in this city, because they're wondering, gosh, why are all these people here? And then they're maybe figuring out exactly why.
What's this about Scottish soccer fans singing the Cheers theme?
Oh, right. So this is a comedian called Roscoe McClelland, and he basically wrote a song about the Scotland national team and some of its players, Scott McTominay, who's one of our star players, and he changed the words to the Cheers theme tune, and it's gone viral. So it's one of these things that's just gone.
It's completely
wildfire.
Taken off, hasn't it, Stephen? It's absolutely flying, and so many fans that were touching down that I spoke to at Boston Airport, one of the first things they were doing was going to the Cheers bar, because they just had to tick it off.
If you could sum up what Americans don't get about soccer, the game itself or the fan culture, if you could sort of give us one friendly piece of advice, what would it be?
We certainly see, as you would call it, soccer, it's more tribal, isn't it, in Scotland? It's a lot more, people grow up and they have an affiliation and a connection to a particular club, and they feel very passionately about it. And then when you add in also the patriotism that we feel as Scots, and how much kind of hope we have for the Scotland national team, I think it's just that there's a lot more pure, raw emotion in our sport of football in Scotland. Then it's not really seen to the same degree as entertainment that maybe the Americans might see soccer as. Would you agree with that?
I mean, for me, football is the best sport We have grown up with this. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup, we played Denmark, we beat them 4-2, and I said after the game, that is the greatest night I will ever have in my life. It was unbelievable.
The BBC Scotland's Amy Irons and Stephen Mill, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you,
us,
Sharon.
Making your way to the USA takes everything you got. Getting a flight to Massachusetts sure did cost a lot. Wouldn't you like to win a game? Or even score a goal? It could be Scott McTominay, Sean McGinn, Kieran Tierney, Kenny McLean from the halfway line, Shannon from a yard again. It would be great to just win a game. Took a loan just to get out here, now I'm absolutely broke. It'll be worth it in the end to watch Ben Gannon dope.